Welcome to the first of the advanced tip videos in our series on WarioWare D.I.Y. Now that the game is available and you hopefully had a chance to make your own games, we're going to take a bit of a different approach than the beginner and intermediate videos and talk more about tips and tricks than the how-to stuff we did for those. In this video, we'll be talking about using D.I.Y.'s animation tools to create pseudo 3D environments. To illustrate these techniques, I'm going to use Star Fox, a game that comes right on the game card, partly just to show you that you can always take any DIY microgame and open it up on the Makermatic, either to borrow the parts from it or just to see how it works. First, let's take a look at the game itself. We have the R-Wing and an enemy. You need to tap the enemy to shoot an energy ball at it before the enemy reaches your ship. The energy ball uses a very simple trick to create depth. It starts large, and its art shows two smaller versions of the same thing to make it look like it's getting farther away. Since it's supposed to be going really fast, it does this in just 3 frames total. Next, the enemy is supposed to be getting closer, but it needs to do it gradually over the whole length of the game. So it actually has a 7-frame animation, which means it needs to use 2 different sets of art. It uses the trigger when art finishes playing to switch to the second one with the other 3 frames. As you can see, it also roams within a smaller area, closer to the R-Wing after the art switch. The scrolling buildings are probably the most important part of the 3D illusion here. They seem like they'd be hard to draw, but it's easier than it looks if you just draw some guidelines and erase them later. I'm going to show you how easy this is by making a simple variant of this game with trees instead of buildings. Since I want to make this look consistent across multiple cells of animation, I'm going to turn on the grid lines and use the R button to make my art snap to the grid. The L button works too. I'm also going to use a color for the guidelines that I won't be using in the real art, so it's easy to erase them later. With our guidelines in place, we can use the shape creator to make a series of green ovals, leaving room for the trunks of the trees below. Then in the next cell, we can shift our ovals out a little bit, and repeat that for the other 2 cells. Finally, you can just import the whole art sequence to another object and mirror flip each frame to make a symmetrically scrolling environment. And there you have it, a Star Fox game that takes place on a forest planet. So those are a few tricks for using animation to add a little depth to your games. Have fun experimenting and finding your own techniques, and be sure to check out the other videos in our series.